Please, Galina, my pleasure.
Good evening, Dr. Uliana. Thank you very much for so nice presentation. Hello, everybody. I'm a head doctor of IVMED clinic, and actually we are the main supplier for Ovogene egg bank. And I would like to say you a couple of words about our egg donor preparation, because it is the crucial step to receive good quality and good maturity eggs. So after a full investigation of our egg donors following strictly controlled criteria, we start the controlled ovarian stimulation. This is control ovarian stimulation of our egg donor is done according to the protocols and international standards. We are using recombinant gonadotrophins to produce an optimal ovarian response. Our main concern to prevent of complications during ovarian stimulation. To overcome this, we are using mostly GnRH antagonist protocols with the triggering of final egg maturation with agonist of GnRH. And as you know, GnRH antagonist protocol associated with immediate LH suppression and decreased gonadotrophin use. And triggering with agonists prevent per se ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. As a result, we are mostly never has these complications in our egg donations program. The goal of our controlled ovarian stimulation is to receive 15-20 good quality and maturity eggs. So one of the important criteria to egg donor selection is high IMH level. It is also important to control the effect of agonist triggering. The day after triggering, we are closely monitor the control the LH rising, and in case of an error, we repeat the triggering. Also, very important moment is using the witness system. After a couple of minutes, we will show you the movie where we explain in details how we are doing that. But from the first step, from the first visit of our egg donors in clinic, we are using this witness system to identify our egg donors and our biological materials. Now, please, you can see this video which will explain in details and show how we are doing all that.
Every year, more than 1,000 babies around the world are born to mothers who cannot have their own biological children. Unfortunately, it may happen that a woman cannot produce oocytes while her partner has no medical issues and wants to have children. In situation of this, in vitro fertilization with donor eggs helps couple to become parents. To source donor oocytes, our clinic invites young healthy women to participate in an egg donation program. Once donor has chosen to become an egg donor and look for a clinic where the egg retrieval procedure will be comfortable, safe, and with 100% fee guarantee, IVMED is a perfect choice. And now every woman can become an egg donor. An applicant has to meet a number of criteria. Eggs may only be donated by physically fit and mentally healthy women aged between 20 and 35 years by law. However, Ovogene requires only donors up to 29 years old who already have a healthy child or children on their own. Applicants have to be free from bad habits such as alcohol or drug addiction, have serious health issues, genetically determined diseases, and major surgical history. For the convenience of women who are willing to become egg donors, our clinic operates a call center which may be contacted for any details and appointments. To become an egg donor with the IVMED clinic, applicants have to participate in a selection program. Our medical professionals will check whether a potential donor body produces healthy eggs and whether she has contraindications to oocyte donation. During an applicant's first visit to the IVMED clinic, she will have an appointment with a fertility professional who will inquire about her health status, any previous surgeries, a history of genetically determined disease in her family, etc. Based on the results of such screening, the doctor will assess whether or not applicant can become an egg donor. Subsequently, egg donor applicants have their blood samples in the manipulation room of the IVMED clinic for a free blood test to eliminate any possibility of infectious, genetically determined, or other diseases. Blood samples will be evaluated in local and international laboratories according to the screening algorithms which Ovogene follows for different countries. Only after the applicant has passed all the examination and the fertility professional has issued a positive option on her participation on the donation program, the applicant may become an egg donor, and the IVMED clinic enters into a formal agreement with her. Such agreement details all the stages and conditions of the donation program and the rights and obligations of the parties. To retrieve oocytes from a donor, the fertility therapist prescribes her medication to stimulate ovulation, provide clear instructions on how to use them and when to schedule the next appointment. After the egg donor's ovarian follicles reach the required maturity, the fertility therapist of the IVMED clinic schedules the date and the time of follicular puncture. Such follicular punctures is performed under general anesthesia. Following anesthesia recovery, the egg donor will be asked to spend several hours in one of our comfortable wards. The wards are equipped with all the necessities. Many of our donors participate in the program several times. Doctors at the IVMED clinic make sure that donor's body has time to rest and recover between egg donation procedures. In the absence of the contraindications and confirmed height efficiency, a woman can participate in egg donation program a maximum of 8 times. Donor candidates contacting our team to become a donor don't have to wait long to join our program. Ovogene Egg Bank currently supplies materials into all 5 continents, and many our partner clinics and infertile couples are looking forward to using donor oocytes and become happy parents with us.
Thank you so much. Details of the medical aspects of oocyte donation process. And dear colleagues, please feel free if you will have any questions related to that medical process. And detailed regarding every process and procedure. Also, we perform screening of our egg donors and keep the information and records. Also, the storage of biological materials according to the regulations of the countries and continents where our biological materials are sent to, and the geographical locations currently to where we deliver biological materials you may see on the screen right now, and what is required to be done according to the standards and the best practices. It is done by Ovogene Egg Bank team members, including the quality management manager, coordinators, which are dedicated for special location, clinic, who knows all the laws and requirements. Also a lawyer who is checking the correspondence to every regulation and act, and also the control of the medical and embryological conditions during the transportation, storage, and ongoing during all the process. So you may see that we are shipping to Canada, USA, Brazil, and Chile, and Argentina, to many countries in Europe, to Cambodia, Japan, Australia, Singapore, South Africa, and different other locations. So in case you have a need to cooperate with the reliable supplier who is an expert for oocyte donation, please feel free to contact our team. And by this, we will go to the part of embryological side, which is so important and responsible. So I would like to introduce my dear colleague, Birol Aydin, who is a laboratory manager of IVMED clinic located in Kiev and scientific advisor for Ovogene Egg Bank, who helped to and who is working extremely hard to create an artificial intelligence for oocyte selection, to improve the oocyte selection, and who was dedicated to work for the unique technique of genetically certified oocytes for oocyte donation, which are extremely effective for the treatment. So he will share his best practices and experience as well as his team. So please, Birol, it's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. I'm glad to another Ovogene webinar session, which we are doing traditionally during COVID-19 pandemic. So today we will try to go more deeply for the insight of egg donation process for oocyte vitrification, oocyte thawing, laboratory quality management, which is very important, also storage and witnessing process. So we will try to open all secrets, all trick points. So we will try to build with all of you much better outcome from the egg donation process. So I will try to explain, of course, for next videos, how we are doing oocyte vitrification and oocyte thawing, what is the tricky point and secrets for the success, high survival rate and high blastocyst outcome. But now I want to introduce you my great colleague. She is firstly perfect embryologist with high skills and practice and experience. She is ESHRE certified senior embryologist in IVMED clinic, which is a supplier clinic of Ovogene Egg Bank. Olya Chaplya. Hello, Olga, how are you today?
Hello, thank you, I'm fine. Thank you, Birol, for introducing. Good evening to everyone. It's my pleasure to be a part of IVMED clinic team, the main supplier of oocytes for Ovogene Egg Bank. And as IVF specialists, we're struggling to provide the highest quality embryologic services for our partners. And now let's take a look where actually the embryologic magic is happening.
Hello everyone, my name is Olya Chaplya and I'm senior embryologist of IVF lab of IVMED clinic and consultant in Ovogene Egg Bank. So let's take a look where our oocytes are retrieved, stored, frozen, and sometimes even cultured. If we culture embryos, we use our beloved ESCO Miri benchtop incubators. Here are 3 of them, and they give us very, very fast results. IVF track system helps us to control the temperature and gases inside our incubators 24 hours, 7 days per week. And we know that we culture embryos and oocytes safely. We are also proud to state that time-lapse incubator is also here in our IVF laboratory. And that is the place where plenty of oocytes, embryos, and sperm samples are stored. It is our golden cryo. We also have our big cryo storage with controlled level of liquid nitrogen and automatic alarm system. We are open to new technologies because as an IVF lab, we would like our patients to get the highest chances for the pregnancy. So in difficult cases, with several unsuccessful utilization attempts, we recommend our patients to go through electrical oocyte stimulation. That helps us to get more zygotes on day 1. And also for the difficult cases of male infertility, we may use sperm sorting with a special chip in order to get spermatozoa without DNA fragmentation, and better morphology for the eggs. Starting from OPU process and ending with freezing and embryo transfer, all procedures in the laboratory are witnessed with the help of electronic witnessing system. Thanks God, it really helps us. Every dish is equipped with such a small chip that may be read on a reader and will confirm us the identity of biological material. We have two EXE stations. One of them is equipped with right micromanipulators, and the other one is equipped with new micromanipulators, and we really adore it. Moreover, we have Hamilton solar laser system on our microscope that helps us to do assisted detection and efficient process of biopsy for NGS testing of our embryos. And now let's take a general look at our laboratory.
A similar question, but before that I want to add some details regarding the video while it's also my lab. So actually for the storage system especially, what I want to add, you know, the different country has a different regulation. So UK has HFEA, different regulation. So what we are doing, just use the part of cryo storage. We have a plenty of like room like that with different cryo storage, because for example, for HFEA, we are keeping it 3 different big cryo storage. One is for quarantine storage, another for transport storage, and a shipment storage already. USA as well, they have a separate storage. So Europe, which we are sending with a single coding, so they have a special one. We are trying to just categorize each regulation in each country for the different storage, while they have a different requirements. Also about the witnessing, it's very important, just you have to know, whatever we are using RFID chip, labels, and all technical parts, which has direct contact with all biological material and Petri dish, is mouse embryo assay tested and CE marked. So there is no any issue, security issue during this process regarding RFID witnessing. So let's come to my question, which I want to ask. As you have long journey and experience in IVF, probably when you start with your journey, okay, you were working only with human witnessing. Now you are using in laboratory electronic witnessing. What you can say, what is the biggest difference for you?
Well, generally, electronic witnessing is amazing due to a couple of reasons. First of all, because it helps us to work. It makes our work easier and faster. You don't have to wait for someone to come and to confirm you the identity of biological material. So you just confirm it with the help of a computer system, and it does it in a second. Secondly, because it's a kind of meditation for me. You're able to concentrate on a one particular process, and you're not distracted by your colleagues who actually need your witnessing, and you're not distracting your colleagues too. And thirdly, of course, is the safety issue that you already mentioned. Yes, on the other hand, the mouse embryo assay tested stickers and chips and CE certified system, and on the other hand, is the possibility to decrease the chances of mistake while biological material identification to 0. And that is really precious.
Great. So just I wish like for every embryologist, for their lab to have such a system any kind of electronic witnessing system to avoid all the risks. So now is the time to go inside of donation process. Let's see about oocyte vitrification, all secrets and tricky points. So now our video will start about oocyte vitrification, and I will try to give details during vitrification process. So when we start our process, of course, mainly we are choosing a right media and right straw system. And we are completing this process with electronic witnessing system, which we are loading on the sticking on the cryotop. We are using a cryotop for the straws and label which include identify donor code, date of birth of the donor, freezing date, and a number of mature oocyte. We are keeping only 2 or maximum 3 oocytes, but for our new regulation, we start to use only 2 oocyte maximum in one straw. After that, we start to get a morphologically oocyte selection, which we are using by time-lapse technology and artificial intelligence, which determine each part of the oocyte regarding size and quality. Also, we are preparing, of course, out part as goblets, identify with a label, and also cryocan with tag. So here is a main point when we use the equilibration solution. Of course, the timing is important. The standard protocols we have, which we are using Kitazato, but of course we update it. We are using a kind of different according to our experience. Basic thing what I can say, so diameter of the pipette is really important. What we are using mostly is one of the main mistakes to use small diameter as 135 or 140. Actually, it's a kind of risk. We should avoid that. A minimum 170. And if you are just a beginner, if you don't have a huge practice, we have to use 270 or 300. So just I want technically, can you stop the video? So I will try to explain more details here. So when we use the equilibration solution, as I say, the timing is a different what we are using from the regular. How we are choosing that the timing, you will ask now. So if you have a high quality of microscope, and especially we are recording that with time-lapse microscopy, so we are totally able to understand expanding time the oocyte. So when oocyte totally expand, actually this is a great time for equilibration time. So then we are already ready to pass for next step. So between each step, of course, to change pipettes, stripper is a perfect idea to avoid any kind of risk which will come from equilibration, because still there can be part of cumulus complex cells around the oocyte, and still that can keep amount of equilibration. So when we pass the vitrification solution, standard protocol says just put oocytes and wait totally in a vitrification process of 1 minute. But we are not doing that. So you should wash oocyte more and more in a different, just to avoid final equilibration solution. When you load the straw, totally you should have only vitrification solution. So as you see on the video, let's continue the video now. So when you make a focus, this is a vitrification solution. When oocyte will totally expand, when you put in a vitrification solution, then they will directly get shrinking. And then, as you see, we are making a many washing process just to avoid equilibration. And then just to try to put a closer the black side, because during thawing, it will make easier job of embryologist and try to avoid the totally vitrification media around. Of course, this is a question, how much you should aspirate vitrification media around the oocyte. That I can say, of course, we are trying to make a minimize vitrification solution about the oocyte, but still this depends of experience as well. When you try to aspirate much more, still you can give a difficulties if next embryologist who will thaw in the next customer clinic, which doesn't have enough experience, so it can make a difficulties during warming. While you will make a pressure up and down with straws, it can make possible damage to zona pellucida and olemma can go out. So that's why we are trying to keep a little bit more media around the oocyte and to protect this issue. Of course, in the answer question time, we will try to get your question and I will try to give more details. But I have to say for the vitrification, 3 things are important. First, exact temperature to get a room temperature to be sure about it. Second, the diameter of pipette stripper is a very important. And third one is a washing and timing process should be checked very well. So now we will try to go warming process and we will listen the warming video. After that, we will come back with the comments. We will talk donor oocyte today with Ovogene. I will try to explain each process, how we are thawing the oocyte and how we get a better outcome from frozen donor oocyte for fertilization and for embryo creation. First, we will start from the media preparation, consumable preparation, pipettes, and settle down the time. So we have to talk with 2 different brand media, kitazato and creative solution. So we will try to avoid risk. While if you cannot find the one of this media in your country, how you need to manage thawing process, because both media already are compatible. We will use 300 micrometer of the diameter of the stripper for thawing process. We don't want to use 140 or 170 to avoid any kind of risk for the degeneration during handling. Also, we will try to use a regular forward dish. While if you have on laminar flow only heating stage, you can avoid the risk to use kind of heat battery dish and to avoid risk of temperature. And also, we will try to pre-warm DS dilution solution and DS washing solution 25 room temperature at least 1 hour, and also TS solution, thawing solution at least 1 hour in 37 Celsius dry incubator without any gas. We don't prefer to keep media TS solution up to 1 hour, because still you have to think about evaporation rate can be increased about 1 hour. So 1 hour totally fine for warming of the media. First, we will try to thaw our oocytes with kitazato protocol. So I am adding 300 microliter of TS solution. And I am waiting till the time comes of washing solution. So I will not put inside of dish till timing of the washing solution. Then I take from incubator, pre-warmed Petri dish. I'm using central dish. You can use size of 30 millimeter or 60 millimeter dish as well, but central dish is much better choice. We'll use pre-warmed TS solution from the incubator. So just I fill the top of central to prepare stripper. So I'm almost ready for the thawing process. Then we'll make a final identification for the donor code. So all process should be done directly under liquid nitrogen. So cryotop or cryo device never should get above the liquid nitrogen. We try to identify the donor. This is the donor which we will try to thaw. So just we stay under liquid nitrogen. So we try to check toner code also here. So when I'm ready to talk, 1 minute for TS solution. Just very quickly, I need to put under the media, and I never shake to create a device. So I just wait to release oocyte by itself. If not, only with 300 micrometer of the stripper, I need to aspirate them above breath. And I don't do any kind of manipulation inside of TS solution. So oocyte will start to move by free. When it's last 6 seconds, I'm trying to aspirate the oocyte from TS solution. And just put them inside of TS solution without any micromanipulation. When it lasts 1 minute in the solution, so I start to put washing solution by 300 milliliter. So both oocytes already start to get expanded. And just aspirating them. And putting PS solution. So I don't do any kind of micromanipulation also in VS solution. And start 5 minutes. This is the two oocyte. Already we worked with Kitasato media. As you see, like quality of oocyte well, polar body is visible, like everything seems fine. So we will wait 1 to 3 hours till fertilization. It depends on oocyte quality, that can be changeable. Also depends on perimeter space. But mostly we will not make ICSI before than 1 hour. Now we will try to talk the oocyte with the cryotech method. Oocyte already frozen by Kitasato method, but we are trying to find a compatible media for thawing in case if you cannot find the media in your country. So we put a full amount of TS solution in the dish for TS solution. So we just try to stop. All process again should be done under liquid nitrogen. So we are ready for thawing. Very quickly we are just going with the TS solution, and we don't move cryo device or cryotok. Just with our stripper solution. Then we start 1 minute. So last 6-7 seconds, I'm trying to aspirate the oocyte from TS solution. And then I transfer them inside of TS solution. So now I'm ready to move oocyte from TS solution to washing solution. So we are already in washing solution, and I start at 5 minutes. So we finalize our thawing protocol. So all 4 eggs are survived with both protocols. So it shows like both media are compatible and can be used for thawing process in different media. as place of kitazoto you can use correctly, like correctly you can use kitazoto, but finally all Ovogene eggs freeze by kitazoto technique, so we suggest to thaw them with kitazoto. But finally, if you cannot find in your country, there is no doubt to thaw with cryotic method. Also, after thawing, so we suggest a 1 to 2 hour incubation time for the oocyte, and may all oocyte freeze by 38 hours of ECG time for better cytoplasmic maturation. So still you have 3 hours of gap for fertilization process, and we suggest to use non-spike exhibit, so which will make exactly PSO effect because zona pellucida after warming is fragile, so that will avoid any kind of degeneration during kids. So non-spike exhibit is much better option for the fertilization of thawing donor oocyte. I have to explain, we just try to use regular laboratory day, so you can see how is going to process. We didn't want to create a commercial video or something. So just you see everything naturally, how it happened in the laboratory. So first thing we did, first, we tried to find the compatible media for Kitazoto protocol. Why we need that? Because is some of our customers always is asking, so we are not able to find the Kitazoto warming media. So what we can do? Of course, we are trying a different brand of media, how we can manage the protocol of thawing and to make a more compatible to Kitazoto. To be honest, the Cryotech, yeah, it's working perfectly as a compatible without many changes. But for other brand of media, we have a different protocol. So it depends of our customers. Of course, we are sharing with them. So you have to know we are using a 35 hours of the trigger for egg pickup. That's why for us, cytoplasmic maturation time is a very important to start a freezing time. And our target, don't freeze oocyte before than 38 hours to catch exactly cytoplasmic maturation. So when we send the customer frozen oocytes, we calculate just their thawing time and fertilization time as well. That's why on the video, I try to show a different quality of oocytes. Not only high quality of oocytes, how is looking after the thawing. Also, as you see, there was an image, one oocyte and down, which has a better quality, but one oocyte on the up, like quality 2 categories, with a dark zona pellucida, but still survive after the thawing process. So tricky points, what you should consider. Firstly, timing of warming media for the TS I'm talking about. Yeah, most of the embryologists try to keep 2-3 hours the media in incubator. It's fine. It can give idea to get totally 37, but still, when you check the media after 1 hour, still you will start to see like a part of water or bubbles on the top. So that means evaporation is really high, and it can make a change a pH balance on the media. So that's why, according to our experience, 1 hour is totally enough. Another tricky things, as you see, I never shake or make a pressure to stroke. I always use a stripper to receive oocytes from the stroke to separate them. Also, I didn't make so much manipulation inside of media. I just leave the oocytes, and when time comes, just I take with aspirate with pipette and to transfer the next media. I use a 300. Maybe you can say why 300 oocyte diameter is not that big, but still, when you try to work, especially 2-3 oocyte in the same time, oocyte can touch each other, and still this physical activity can give a damage because you cannot control under such high concentration. I'm talking about DS or washing, like exactly fine manipulation. And that's why, to avoid all this risk, we are using a high diameter of the media. So actually, all what I will say, of course, there are many things to say, but I'm leaving to answer question session. So I'm waiting all of your questions, as well our medical team, Dr. Galina and Dr. Uliana. So we are ready to get all of your questions.
much, Birol and Olga, for such detailed and important explanation of the process. I'm sure that our colleagues will type their questions right now, or you can do this later. You can always contact us online through different channels of communication. And everyone who is you know that we are always in touch. We are happy to even to show the oocytes online, to be present during your procedures being performed in the laboratory. So it is very responsible and important. So there is a question from Zaid, but this is a question to be asked individually. So Zaid, yes, sure, or Birol, you can type your email or any contact details in order to receive the question, please.
Sure, I will contact with him and I will wait the question.
Wonderful.
Okay, he has already my contact, so I guess I will get the question. While till I get some question, I can continue to comment about vitrification and thawing process. While it is like just you have to understand, like if we have a high quality of and high standards of vitrification process, that doesn't mean like after the thawing, whatever you do, whatever protocol you are using, so oocyte will survive. Even if it's high quality donor oocyte, if you use all quality one, with high standards of vitrification media, still oocyte warming is very important. That's why as Ovogene scientific team, we are ready for all questions. With now because of time of pandemic, so we don't have chance to travel a lot, but still we are always online. We can give different kind of training. When of course pandemic will finish, we will visit all of our supplier and try to make a thawing process together with them. We will get also such responsibility and try to thaw together with them to Ovogene donor eggs. But still, like when we start to choose to communicate with our customer clinics, we are kindly asking from them to get information about all of their laboratory process, because this is a complete process. It's not just a high-skill embryologist that they are thawing well, they get a good quality of oocyte and just, but still is a culture process. We are just not responsible from the survival. We are following till the pregnancy whole process. So we want to join and we want to try to help them for the whole process. Okay, there are the question. I want to learn vitrification and thawing protocol. As I said, I mean, of course, a vitrification protocol, I mean, in video, we give a general details, but, you know, this is kind of also our scientific and commercial secret. Of course, I cannot open a full vitrification process, but for the warming process, anyone else needs warming protocol, just can type their email and I can send our warming protocol to all our customer clinics.
And it is also important to continue that guarantees are based on the number of guaranteed blastocysts to be received in the clinic, which receives biological materials from Ovogene, which was mentioned by Birol. And this is our mutual responsibility to make sure that the process is well adapted and well established, starting from the conditions of the lab as well as the skills of the embryologist, as well as the administrative processes. They are also important. And in terms of the transportation, probably this is a process which we miss during this webinar today. I should say that we are working with a reliable company to transport biological material, and we keep hand carry to those locations to where it is possible right now to be done, and to those where there are restrictions, we do cargo transportation. However, we monitor data and we have seen no differences in terms of survival rate, cultivation results, and clinical performances for both categories of the oocytes. And also we control the transportation through the tracking system. And we know every time what is the condition inside of the dewar. So it is also responsibility to be sure about this period of time, how are the oocytes, and to qualify them in terms of the quality. There is a question from Nino. Will the record be available to watch later? Yes, you can join anytime Ovogene video channel on YouTube, and you can find there this webinar as well as our previous webinars. Our tradition is to meet online every month right now, so we did already 5 or 6 meetings, and we will be prepared for the next one really soon. So colleagues, do you have any comments for our attendance?
Just I have one question through my LinkedIn. I guess it's more related with Dr. Galina. So they're asking, what is the difference between 35 trigger and 36 hours trigger? So do you see any difference for the quality, follicular quality, number of eggs, or quality of eggs, which is related for embryologists?
Thank you for this interesting question. Because the timing of triggering, it is very big topic, and probably one day we will also organize kind of webinar about it. Finally, this timing 36 hours was chosen like that empirically. Early works in 1980 show that this is more or less in most of case optimal time. We are using 35 hours because sometimes women can be a little bit in late. Sometimes we need a little bit more time for preparation for egg collection. And this give us kind of gap, kind of possibility to not lose this optimal maturation rate of oocyte. So this is mostly for that. There is no difference in terms on receiving number and maturity of eggs 35 or 36 hours after the triggering. But when we are doing with 35 hours, we have more time and we are more, how to say, quiet and not stressed. But individually speaking, in some cases, probably 36 or even 40 hours may be helpful, but okay, we never know this before. There are some works which describe that some person need a little bit more time for final egg maturation, but okay, it is a big topic to discuss.
Okay, so I see that the question from dear Lars, just question typically for him. Okay, he's asking, so the egg collection is around 36 hours because you're delayed?
No, we are doing 35 hours, but time to time, people may be a little bit late. And like that, we are not stressed. Okay, 35 or 36, finally, there is no big difference. In most of case, we are doing 35 hours, but in our embryological and medical protocols, we are writing the time of triggering. And like that, embryologists can see how many hours pass at the moment when they are starting to working with eggs. And they will adapt a little bit their protocol to that time.
Okay.
Thank you. And also it is important to probably to continue from the embryological point of view that still you have your timing for the procedures depending on the trigger time.
Yeah, definitely, because as I said, our main parameter is cytoplasmic maturation, but still we are also following a natural fertilization time. So we are trying to don't pass for fertilization up to 40 hours. That's why when egg collection in a 35 hours, so still we have a 3 hours of gap for vitrification process and cytoplasmic maturation. And after that, when customer clinic thaw the oocyte, so they have still 3 hours for fertilization process. So that's why when timing is balanced, advantage is increasing, of course.
Great, thank you. I have another question on my WhatsApp now. So it's a question regarding how many oocytes we recommend for the treatment. It's a very general question, but Birol, I think you may answer this.
Oh, how many? Yeah, this is of course important topic. I mean, depends of what kind of program patient are following. So if there is aim to get euploid embryos, which program includes NGS technique, for example, so we recommend minimum to get 8 oocytes because, you know, like for the donor program, we are aim a minimum 50% of euploid embryos, a minimum. Depends of sperm parameters, it can be changeable. So that means blastocyst rate, if it is a 60-70%, from 6 oocytes, 3 of them should be euploid. So that will increase the chance, at least will give the patient chance of 3 embryo transfer with a single embryo. So that's why like 8 is average number, but of course up to 8 till 12 will increase chance much more.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just will summarize that we recommend starting a set from 6 oocytes, not less, due to the fact that there is a thawing issues. Could be there are not obviously, but they could be. Also, we all know the fertilization rates worldwide, they are between 80 to 90%, and there is a cultivation details which could be different everywhere, but still, even from 6 oocyte, we have guarantee of 1 healthy embryo, which is blastocyst stage, and more oocytes are ordered, more embryos are guaranteed. And of course, this is the minimum. What is the guarantee? And usually we receive more, as Birol said, this is we expect 2-3 blastocysts from set of 6 oocytes as it is working. There is another question from Daria. Hello, do you use any techniques to improve egg quality before fertilization? So I would start from the medical point of view. This is a protocol for the donor selection, initial selection, including her medical history, her gynecological status, hormonal profile, etc. And also because she is an egg donor, we assume her to be healthy, and also we expect high quality of her oocytes. However, this is true that even some young women with the proven fertility, they could have some issues with the quality of their oocytes, and we analyze this through the detailed analysis of the morphology of the oocytes in the laboratory, and also further survival rate and the cultivation rates and clinical pregnancy rates for these donors. So we have a special software where we track efficiency of every donor, for which we ask our partner clinics to send their data to us, as it is important to prove that this is a proven donor and we can count on her efficiency. Of course, we don't use any additional supplements or any experimental like growth hormones, etc., for the oocyte donation. Just because we assume to receive high quality oocytes. But in terms of if you are asking anything specifically in the embryological laboratory to improve, so Birol, please comment.
Okay, I will give answer for this question, but after that I have especially one question from one of our partner clinic to Olya Chaplya. So about improved egg quality in lab, of course, I would like to say yes, but unfortunately no. We cannot affect the egg quality, but we can affect the process. We can increase chance of fertilization rate. better blastocyst outcome, while, as I said, we are using advanced technologies as, for example, piezoelectric stimulation. If especially sperm parameter is not fine with high sperm DNA fragmentation, we can use sperm chip or zymote technology. So still, donor oocyte fertilization is a question, because sometimes we receive from the customer clinics like question, what about if they get degenerate or damaged during fertilization? So they look fine, but when we inject, so they get degenerate. To avoid such things, of course, there are one idea which worked very well in our lab, we are using always, because 90% of embryologists are using spike injection pipette. And when you go through zona pellucida, it's really sharp and it's cutting in a once. But when you start to use non-spike, so it will not cut at once, so it is a more sensitive, and oocyte is more sensitive after thawing. So that's why it could be helpful. So which customers or partner clinics, embryologists are using donor eggs, I strongly suggest to use a non-spike injection pipette, which can avoid risk of degeneration. So now let's come to question to Olya Chaplya. So question is from our partner clinic. If everything gone well for the vitrification event, what is the possible effect of transportation to quality of warming? It may affect and influence negatively. So what we should do when we get the storage to our clinic from the Ovogene egg bank. So how we should unpack and what we should consider to take care.
Well, actually, as already Dr. Uliana mentioned, we have a very reliable transporting company that transports oocytes either with hand carrying or cargo carrying with all the necessary prescriptions. We specially pack the oocytes in visotubes with an upper visotube to fix them, and also we use sleeves for additional fixation. So from the point of view of packing and shipment, we do our best in order to guarantee the safe transportation. But it is a very important step in order to unload the oocytes right. First of all, when you open the shipper, when you get it, you should be sure that it has the right temperature, and of course it has logger on it. You can check that the logger shows minus 196 as it should be. And after that, you should fill the logger with the liquid nitrogen. So the oocytes, the whole visotube, the whole cryocan will be covered with liquid nitrogen. And only after that, it is possible to transport the cryocan with the oocytes into the cryobath, also filled in with liquid nitrogen. The whole preparation should be done in advance. So firstly, you should prepare the liquid nitrogen bath, spare liquid nitrogen to fill in the shipper, and after that to go on for the unloading of the oocytes. And of course, a very important step, it's not about oocyte survival, but it's about the biologic material identification. When you unload the oocytes, please check their identity, see the straws, be sure that they were transported right, and after that, all the manipulation should be done only on the liquid nitrogen layer. And after you are sure that you made it all right and you got the oocytes that you were waiting for, put them carefully to your cryobank and let them thaw very fine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear colleagues. So we are already over an hour together. This was a great hour. It was a very important and very interesting for me. Thank you for being such a great cooperating center, and we are proud to deliver such a high quality of biological materials working together. And thank you for all attendance. We are always welcome all of you to communicate with us, to share your ideas, to share your practices, to coordinate and cooperate for the benefits of our patients. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lars. Have a good evening and good night, and we will be happy to meet again very soon on our next webinar session. Visit our website, visit our video channel, visit our social medias. We are going to prepare very interesting information soon. Thank you so much and take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, thanks.
Bye-bye.